Good afternoon. It is June 12th, 2025, and today we had this spike in channel, followed by a break of the channel, and then we had this broad bull channel, and then we had a break and two legs up, and we sold off, looks like about 10 points at the end of the day. Um, but here's how it looks on the daily chart. So I think it's very, very reasonable to have bought when prices broke lower than 60.06, because that's the low of yesterday. So if you look at that on here, I mean, you wouldn't have, unless you were awake that early. And it looks like there was a news item at 5:30. So here you have a leg down, and the low of that bar was 59.88. So where could you reasonably buy? I mean, you get a bull bar here. There's a stem on top. So if you're feeling aggressive, maybe you buy there. At the close of this candle, you're getting 59.98. And to me, if you're looking at this chart, that's a good price. Um, the question would be, where do you put your stop? Well, obviously on this chart, you would put it below this bar. But if you have a lot of money in your account, you'd probably have to put it about 70 points away, which is about $350 per single MES contract. But I think a great buy, if you're looking at this 2700 tick chart, a great buy is this pullback to the EMA, anticipating a channel after the spike. That's what I think. Maybe let me take a look at these other charts, see if it's probably worth marking up this 1300 tick chart. Looks like there might be more opportunities to get in this spike in channel. So we'll do it as we go. So there's the news item, and you do get a channel. So you get a little spike in channel before the channel for most of the morning. Is there any entry in here? I don't really see it, and you're probably anticipating some resistance up here, which is what happens. And this is why it's, when you get good enough to look at different charts, this is why it might be helpful, because look how clear the two-legged pullback is on this chart to the EMA, whereas on this chart it gaps below a little bit, but it is clearly two legs back. This leg has two legs in it. I just wanted to say that. But anyway, we kind of go sideways. You get a little pop right here. I think this is reasonable to take a scalp here. We didn't touch the EMA. It looks like a sign of bull strength. I think that's very reasonable. And then we form a leg down, and then you get a weaker leg down. And so at that point, it kind of starts to look like a strong bull trend. Let's see what the gap is looking like. So we break out above this level here, but we do pull back and test it. But that forms a level of support. And so I like this second entry long. We didn't gap below the EMA here. You get a higher low, strong bull bar. Then you get a higher low there. And it goes sideways. Unfortunately, it goes sideways a little bit. Then you get a higher low again with a strong bull bar. No consecutive bear bars here. I think it's worth considering. And finally, you get the breakout. And this creates a gap. You can see above this high, we get a strong breakout. It comes back, tries to close the gap, and it forms a a negative gap. So the stem here touches this price level, but the bodies don't. So that's a sign of strength. That's what you want to see. And that's when you want to confidently hold this and swing your trade. And 27, if you sold it at the break, you would have gotten a 14-point move if you waited for the break of this channel before selling. Is there another place to get in? I mean, you could buy this thing the whole way up. There's no consecutive strong bear bars. You get a strong bear bar here, followed by some weak bull bars, weak bear bar, strong bear bar here, but it's followed by uh, the buy climax. And then you get some selling finally. You see in here, you get this overshoot. So, you know, if you don't think that it's going to be a range day, um, and you think we're going to finish with a bull bar, whoops, then you might want to buy this sell climax. That's something to think about. But anyway, we make uh, a double bottom, and then you get a matching low with a strong bull bar. Perhaps you consider that going long there. But you can see we're basically ranging at this point. I think that's a reasonable place to draw the channel. So you get a second entry long right here. I don't know about this one. I feel like it's a little too early, but we're making higher lows down here. Boom. Bounces right here. Not sure about that one. Even though it looks like a parabolic sell climax. Yeah, maybe you consider that one. Come down here. Get a higher low. Maybe you consider one of these. Maybe you just buy with a limit order there. I kind of like that. Boom. Great. Move to new. Yeah, I mean this one I would consider, but you have some strong bear bars in here. When it doesn't take off after this small bear bar, I'd be a little concerned. Uh, got this channel, you get a break. So I don't think you want to be in this especially all the way up here with the daily chart. This looking like kind of a weak bull bar. I don't think you want to be continuing to trade because at this point, if you were watching this morning, you should have made some money. So that's how I saw it today. There's one last look at it. One last look at the daily chart. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.